Well, this is a treat for us to have Evan Drellich in studio with us. How you doing?
Tom, thank you for having me.
First time we've ever worked together. I've seen him do his work at Fenway Park for so many times, and thanks for coming in.
It's great to be back on TV.
Right?
Excellent.
Didn't you miss it? Listen, 12 runs, 7 runs, 6 runs, 10 runs. Your first reaction to what we've seen from this Red Sox team through 4 games.
Is that good? Are those good things?
I've heard that's not good.
108 wins last year. You were never going to repeat it again this year. It doesn't happen in baseball. But everything went right a year ago. The starting pitching had a slow build-up from spring training last year. No problem. Go 21-7 in March and April. Nobody's talking about it. Well, this year, you're starting to see the other side of the coin. You don't have your starting pitchers built up. For good reason. You want them to be healthy and last well into September. Fine. But these games count. And you're seeing every single starter they run out there right now do poorly. And I don't care how good and resilient your offense is, you're not going to win like that.
So 2 questions. Most of us discount spring training, but Alex Cora last year did not discount spring training, and he said that they were very good even in spring training. So what do we make of this year's spring training results?
Well, if you're going on the logic that Alex Cora himself used, then this year's spring training should be a bad sign. Realistically, we know spring training doesn't mean that much, and I'm sure they would have told you, oh, even if the results weren't there, we were getting our work in and all that. This isn't going to be about spring training at the end of the day. It might be a little bit more about fatigue, the long season they had last year. You know, even if this build-up plan that the starting pitchers have had, where they didn't throw too many games in spring training, is right, look, they could just be tired. You know, they're coming off a huge workload, but again, these games will count, and you will start looking up at the Yankees in the standings.
Which leads to the second part of my question is, at what point is it legitimate to have real concern?
I don't think it's too early after 4 games to wonder about the overall state of the rotation, where these guys are in their prep. You want to credit Seattle for having a good game plan, for ambushing every single one of these starting pitchers' pitches. That's fine, and they did have a very good game plan, and the league is going to adjust. They have a lot of videotape to study what the Red Sox had done, but you have a common thread throughout every one of these 4 games. That doesn't mean that the next time through the rotation they're all going to suck, but you do have to sit there and go, all right, was this rotation prepared as it should have been and needed to be to have a strong April? And
they had a strong April last year, which made a huge difference. And when you lose, things like this are going to come up more often than they're not. But J.D. Martinez in left field, yes, he made up for it with the home run today.
Exactly.
But, you know, God forbid one of those guys gets hurt. You know, God forbid that Benintendi injury keeps him out 3 weeks. Suddenly you got J.D. out there, and that's where Pandora's box opens in my world.
Even when J.D. Martinez had moments last year where he had a misplay in the outfield, it did not hurt them. Nothing hurt them. They carried a catcher named Blake Swihart for 2 months last year, didn't use him. They were playing a man short for 2 months, and they still won 108 games. So the little things that last year I looked at, I'm sure a lot of people looked at and said, well, you know, how's that going to work out? It worked out. But today, you saw it. You play a lesser outfielder out there, a guy who can swing a huge bat. We know how good a hitter he is, but the defense matters. The little things do eventually catch up to you in baseball, even if it takes until next year.
Well, one of the things that people say is, well, how can the team change? You know, what type of player could conceivably be a shot in the arm for this team? And if so, at what position? Where do you add to this team to make it better? How do you tweak it? What will it take to tweak it?
This was the dilemma of the offseason, which was the only area to look at was the bullpen, where you were losing Joe Kelly and you were losing Craig Kimbrell. And we know what happened. To this point, they haven't gone out and gotten anybody. Kimbrell's still out there. Wink, wink. Red Sox, you could go do something.
Haven't needed a reliever yet.
Haven't really needed your end game reliever, although Matt Barnes looked fine the other night. But, you know, even if you go out and get Kimbrell, is that going to solve your rotation issues at the moment? No. You know, there's nothing you can do. And here's the bottom line, by the way. This is still a very good team. The reason they took this gamble with the bullpen of not signing anybody was because they felt like, look, even if we win, I don't know, 97 games, we're still in great position. And that's true. They can probably weather this storm, get into May and June, and then trade some mid-level prospect for somebody, and voila, there's your bullpen upgrade.
Thanks for coming in. Where are we going to hear you next?
OMF, 2 to 6 tomorrow on WEEI. Check it out.
Good stuff. Evan Drellich, great to have you with us.
Thanks, Tom.